Hi everyone, welcome, welcome. So if you caught my video last week, I wanted to say, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I was just like bitching and just really in an energy of just, I don't know if I was being a victim, but whatever it was a tough week and I needed to express that. And for those of you who took time to listen, thank you. I wish you had commented and let me know what your thoughts were if you watched the whole video. But I finally got at least some views with the videos I'm posting because honestly, I've posted about 10 videos and the last one was the first one that actually got cracked the algorithm a little bit. So I'm going to congratulate myself. Oh, you did great. Even though I'm still um, working towards my way of living love consciously. So, again, welcome. My name is Anne Marie. I am talking about living love consciously. So, we just talk about everyday situations that happen to us and to me specifically, and how I manage it, how I try to overcome the hurdles that come in my life, how I try to enjoy the positive and the good things that happen into my life. We're just going to talk about those skills like making your toolbox better for living life. So, anyway, I guess what I'm going to talk about today is let's talk about, hmm, like, I don't know, spiritual topics. Like, what is on your mind with regards to spiritual topics? I'll tell you mine, and you get in the comments and tell me what you're perceiving in the spiritual realm, in the spiritual realm, as well as in the religious realm, how you're inviting Christ into your life, Christ consciousness. I know some people have problems with the words Christ consciousness. It's like everybody just wants to fight over the same thing, which is us having a path where we're kind and loving and supporting good, decent human beings. And good is subjective, but just being decent human beings that help each other. That's really all we want. We want to have a roof over our heads. We want to be able to eat. We want to be able to take a vacation when we need to. When our body tells us, "Hey, you're overworking. You need a break." To have access to good health care. To have access to just work. With AI developing and AI going to be taking over some jobs and stuff like that. And I gotta be honest with you, that also is something we've brought on ourselves. Like, if you work in customer service, just be freaking nice, okay? You don't need to be a jerk just because you don't like your job. It's not my fault you don't like your job, so you don't have to take it out on me. And if that were more like customer service and people were coming into stores physically, it probably would have like slowed down the process of AI. Like, seriously, because I have gone into stores before I even knew what AI was, and people were so nasty that the minute the internet came and I was able to order stuff from the internet, I just did it because I didn't want to be bothered with people with attitudes. And now it's even worse. People, I'm like, there's something that's going to be taking over your job. And maybe you're angry about that. Maybe you're angry about your life, but don't take it out on me. Like, figure a way out to like get that energy out of you before you go to work. Don't take it out on me because I didn't do anything to you. And there's like definitely a problem about that. Anyway, I went on a tangent because I'm talking about spiritual stuff, but like spiritual modalities that are helping you. Tell me about some of the spiritual modalities that are helping you. And since I brought up AI, tell me what you think, especially AI taking over customer service, representatives, and things like that. I rather deal with a person, but it's going to become advanced enough that it's going to be like you won't be able to tell the difference, I think. But what do I know? But like, you can slow that down. Like, we have the power to say no. But if you're not a nice customer service person and the AI is like making me feel good and telling me, "Oh, hi, miss, how are you?" and all this, I'm going to want to deal with the AI more. I'm sorry. That's just because I don't want a mean person. I don't want somebody to be nasty to me for no reason because I'm calling trying to get help. Okay, I'm done with that tangent. Second on. So, spiritual modalities. What are you using to help make life better? Like, my husband goes to church with our son all the time. Me, I tend to stay home because I'm usually like getting ready for work and I'm also like prepping for work and stuff like that. So, I don't go to mass with him as often, or usually I just go on holidays. Like when he's at mass with my son, this is when I'm doing these videos. This is when I am like showering, getting ready for the week, and just trying to live life. Because again, if you've been watching me, if you've seen my videos, I have a little son and it's just me and my husband. We do not have support. We do not have family coming to watch our son for us. We do not have paid support. So it really is just us. So there is a lot of challenges because, raising a child is very energetically taxing. I love it and I'm so grateful to be a parent, but it's not for everyone. And that's just something you have to know. I find it amazing. My son is growing and he is definitely learning the world and he's learning to be his own person. And so that is a good thing because he needs to be independent because he and his father and I won't be around forever. So we have to teach him to be an independent human being. But at the same time, you can be independent while being part of a collective, like while being part of a community. I think we all need community. And it's important, but it's important to develop your individual self. Like you can't, like even like if you understand like children, right? When children are first born, they're part of the hive mind of their parents, because they're learning. And then eventually they get to a certain age where they start to develop their independence. And a healthy process is allowing that person to develop their independence while still able to come back to the community as needed. That's a healthy balance. And I think as a humanity, as a society, we're learning to do that. There was a point in humanity's life for us to survive, we had to be dependent on our tribe, on our community. And then we had to develop our own our own self. And we're still in that process of developing our own self. But with technology coming in, it's like you have to be aware that the development of the self is getting sidetracked by AI in this hive mind of everyone having to think alike. And I experienced that at work. I experienced that just in conversation because the society is so divisive that if you don't think like your tribe, they will kick you out and not think twice about it. Like I've heard people who say, I've stopped talking to my family member because they followed this politician. No, 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 no. That is not healthy. Like people should be able to have opinions that don't align with yours, and you still can have respect for them as a human being, respect for them as someone who is able to think logically and able to come to conclusions that are best for themselves. As long as they're not physically hurting you or anyone else, like I don't see what the problem is. But I see that all the time, like the divisiveness. And I used to think it was just on the internet, but there are certain subjects where it is just like every day. But I also live in a very liberal state. So maybe I'm in a city and cities tend to be more liberal. They tend to be more diverse. And when you have people of different backgrounds, it's hard to align and come to, I want to say, to a cohesive kind of like idea of how you want society to function because it's so diverse and so many people are coming from so many different backgrounds. It's going to be in the video, this honking, because I live in a city and the windows are up to let some airflow in the apartment. Anyway, so it's going to be difficult to align, to have all these diverse thoughts to align because some people come into a community and they want to keep their own community and not even adapt or try to see the ideas of the bigger community that they're coming into or infiltrating. Infiltrating sounds like a negative word, but that they're coming into, right? I think like, for example, let's make this more concrete, more understandable, streamlined. Like if you move into an area and you see that this is like an area where people are quiet, people put their garbage out, people follow the rules of blah, blah, blah. They keep their neighborhood nice, they keep their houses nice, they keep them. And then you come in and then your car is parked on the grass all the time. You're having loud parties. You're coming into that environment and not caring that there's already an established norm. Like, no one's saying you can't throw parties, but maybe go talk to your neighbor and say, yeah, I'm having a party, blah, 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 blah. And then move, like, try to fit into the group while maybe in your own house you do your own thing. Like, so everybody's just like, I don't know, there's just a lot. And I think this is, where we're talking about the individual being part of a community. This is where you have to find the balance. You can have your own culture, practice it, but if you're coming into a bigger group where there's already things happening, there's a level of both sides that have to adapt, that have to acknowledge that, okay, this person has their own culture, but they're open and willing and sharing the diversity of their culture with us, and we want to share our the interesting aspects of our culture with them. And then in between, I'm sure you're going to find things in common. And again, commonality is people want to have a good, decent life. Nobody wants to be in conflict with each other because we need each other. Like, if something went down that was really horrendous, and I hope that it doesn't come to that, where as a society, we need something so horrendous to happen for us to come together, for us to see beyond our skin tones, our gender, and all this stuff. I hope it doesn't come to that, because if it does come to that, we're going to need each other to survive, to be able to procreate and move our species ahead into like the next, as some die off and then our children grow and then da 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 da. Anyway, there's some people who think that the world is overpopulated. I'm not going to get into that. So to them, none of this matters. But you still need people to take care of you. Like, as you age, you're probably not going to be able to take care of yourself. So who's going to do that if there's no one left? Who's going to do that if there's no population? There's no young people, or it seems selfish, but it's just part of life. Like, even if you're all a pet person, right? And you have a pet and then you take care of that pet needs you, because it's been bred to be a household pet. It probably can't survive in the wild. Maybe after generations, if it can go into that, it will learn to survive in the wild again, but it still needs you. It still needs the human companionship, the human love to take care of it, the desire to take care of it. And you need that for other humans too. Like the people who desire to help humanity, who desire to take care of people who are mentally unwell, people who need other people. Like now, like I live in a city. There's so many mentally unstable people on the streets, and they need people who can help them, who care, who want to help them, and we can pay for that as a society. All right. So speaking of spiritual modalities, I didn't touch on a specific modality, but I think when we're talking about living love consciously, it's just to stay away from all the stuff you read and just be a decent human. Like, put yourself in other people's shoes. How would you want to be treated? Like, I think Jesus said, treat others as you would like to be treated. Like, how would you like to be treated as a person? Like, do you want somebody who's always yelling at you, who's mean, who's disgruntled, who's angry, who's like going in the comment section and just like vomiting or shitting just negativity at you? No, you want somebody who's kind and who says, hey, all right, we're different. Like, your opinion and my opinion is different, but let's chat. Let's conversate. Let's figure out why we have these differences. Let's figure out what things we have in common. And I guarantee you, at the end of the day, you'll find more in common than you don't. And that you have to let go of the anger. You have to let go of the hatred that you have for the lack of things you have in your life. And I think a lot of it comes from people just having a shitty situation. And we all have, like, if we look into our bubbles, we all have things in our lives that we want to make better. And we all have things in our lives that are quote unquote shitty that we want to improve. And in order to do that, you have to work at it step by step, day by day, living love consciously, being kind, seeing the kindness in other people, regurgitating kindness when you get it. I don't know if I'm using that, you know, term properly or in the right context, but I think you know what I mean. Just being a decent human being, it's super important. And I'm going to leave you with that. The next time somebody, like, let's talk about social media, because I'm on social media right now, and I find that sometimes people are very different on social media than they are in person. But at the same time, there's always, like, if you're a mean person incognito on social media, there's probably a pain in your heart and in your chest that you need to release. So the next time you think or feel the call to be nasty to someone on social media, put that back at you. Why am I being nasty to this person? I don't know this person. They're just posting something, and it's a snippet of something bigger that has more context that I am not even aware of, because I'm scrolling for like seconds and I'm not even getting complete information. And for some reason, I'm triggered. I'm triggered to be nasty to this person because they have a different thought or because they posted something I don't like. So take a moment and say, am I really upset at this person? Or am I just mad that my life isn't where I want it to be, and now I found a someone to target, or purpose to target, because I think we need purpose, and some people lack a lot of purpose. And I don't know, like, I think we need something to do. I think we need something to occupy us, and when we don't have that, it's very disorienting. Just like when you don't have children, you probably have a different perspective of like what you want to build for the future than someone who doesn't have children. All right, this is just an idea, but again, long story short, the next time you get upset or triggered, just think about why you're upset or triggered. Is it really because of what the person is saying, or is there something in your chest that's holding pain that you need to release? I love you. Take care of yourself. I will talk to you again. Bye.